Hello everyone, welcome to RS Academy and welcome to the course of Database Management System, or in short, we call it as Database Management System. In this video, we will be seeing the basic introduction to DBMS. Before DBMS, we were using the file system approach to store the data. In later videos, we will be see more about file system and why we prefer DBMS approach over the file system approach. Before we get into the topic, let us see the outline or the topic that we are going to see in this video. So the first one we are going to see is the basic definition or the basic terminologies that we need to know. Next, we will be looking into the definition and functionalities of database management system. And then we will be discussing about the properties of database. Next, we will be briefly looking into an illustration of a simplified database system environment. And then finally, to understand database and its functionalities better, we will be looking into an example of a university database. So as we discussed, first we will be looking into the basic definition in relation to DBMS. So the first one is data. Data is any raw facts or unprocessed facts that you can record. Like for example, any number, name of a person, any name of a place, any kind of text or images, audio, video, etc. All these things are considered as data. Next, we have what is information. So, these unprocessed facts, when they are processed to make meaningful context, then this is called as information. Or, in other words, I can say it is the processed data. Like, for example, the age of Suresh is 25. So here I take the raw facts or the unprocessed facts, process it to make a meaningful context, and that is called as information. Next, let us see what is a database. So database is a collection of related data. Now, a random collection of data or data that is not related cannot be referred to as a database. It has to be a collection of a related data. Like for example, the data in an online banking system database has to be related to that particular bank. Similarly, the data in library management system database has to be related to that particular library. So this is what we call as a database. The next one is metadata. So metadata is nothing but the database definition. Or in other words, I can say it is the complete description of database, or it defines the database information like the storage format or the data type of the data that we are going to store in the database, or the constraint on the data of this information is called as metadata. So these are the basic definition we have seen. Next, let us see the definition of DBMS. So database management system is a system to manage the database, and here managing could be either storing of data or retrieval of data from the database. Now let's look into the proper definition of database management system. Database management system is a system or it is a software, or I can say it is a collection of programs that enable users or that allow users to create and maintain the database. So this is a very simple definition. Now let's move on to the functionalities of database management system. Database management system allow user to define the database, to construct the database, manipulate the database and share the database. Now defining the database involves specifying the data type for the data that we are going to store in the database. Also specifying the structures and constraint for the data. Now, what is constraint? Constraint is nothing but the limit on the data. Like, for example, if I have age as the data to be stored, then I can have a constraint. Say age greater than 18. So only if age is greater than 18, then only that data can be stored in the database. So that is what we call as a constraint. The next functionality is constructing the database is nothing but the process of storing data on some storage medium. Or in other words, I can say it is the storage of data. So when data is stored, a database is being constructed. The next functionality is manipulation of database, includes functionality includes function like querying or the database to retrieve or to get any data that the user needs. It also allows users to update the database and for generating reports. The next functionality is sharing the database, allow multiple users and programs to access the database concurrently or simultaneously. Or in other words, I can say many users can access or share the same database at the same time in an efficient manner. So these are the main functionalities that DBMS provides. The other function provided by DBMS are protection of the database from unauthorized access or from hardware or software failures, and also maintenance of the database for a long period of time. So that is with the functionalities of database management system. So that's all for today's video. In the next video session, we will be seeing or we will be discuss about the properties of database management system. Next, we will be briefly looking into an illustration of a simplified database system environment. So that's all for today's video, and thank you, and please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.